Alright guys, welcome back to the wild world of lines, and today we're going to be getting to know your quadratics. We've got a great episode for you guys today. Now right, whenever we're talking about a function, we always want to be figuring out what are some of the key features of this that'll help me in problems to solve, or help me to get to know this function. Now for these quadratics right here, we've got a couple of key features we're going to talk about today. We've got the vertex, we've got the axis of symmetry, then we got roots of zeros, which we're not really going to focus on today, but I'm going to show you to avoid some misconceptions. Right, so this parabola, it's pretty easy to see where the vertex is. It's just going to be either the minimum or the maximum point on this parabola right there, where that slope is going to be 0 right there, right? So that right there is going to be our vertex for this figure right here. Now, we got our next one. We got the axis of symmetry. Now, luckily, these two are going to be related. The axis of symmetry is going to be the line that, if we reflected the parabola over it, it would map onto itself. So what that means, the axis of symmetry is just going to pass right through our vertex, just like that. Right. So now, then the last thing that we got is just the zeros. So that's where that's where our parabola is going to pass through the x-axis right there. We got our zeros right there and right there. Now we're going to focus a bit more on the axis of symmetry over here. We've got to figure out often what is the equation of this line. Now, so we look, this line is a perfectly vertical line, so that means it's going to be x equals something. And then we look to our coordinates of our vertex to figure out what their x value should be, because it should always be the same x value as the x value for the vertex. So here we got -1, 4. So that means the equation for my axis of symmetry is going to be x equals to -1. Alright, now there's a few things to watch out for of common mistakes. One of them would be saying that the equation is y equals to -1. It's easy to think, oh, y, that's going to mean it's a vertical line, right? But if we were to plot in the line y equals -1, we get this line going across right over here, which, the way to check, if we reflected this parabola over that line, it would not map onto itself. Instead, it would go up something like this, right? So we are not going to do y equals. This line will always be x equals. Right, now another common mistake might be to accidentally use the y coordinate instead of the x coordinate. Right, so you could choose the line y equals 4, right, or x equals to 4. That would be incorrect in this situation. Right, so those are two common mistakes that you might make with axis of symmetry. Let's just check one out real quick right here. So on this parabola right here, look for a vertex. You can see at this point the vertex is the minimum, or the lowest value on the line. So this point is going to be 1, 2. So I've got my x coordinate. I'm going to write my equation for the axis of symmetry. It'll be the same as the x coordinate, so it'll be x equals 1. The line where the x coordinate is always 1. Just draw that right in. And we got our axis of symmetry. Now let's take a look at that key point, and then we'll move on. Alright, so we got axis of symmetry passes through the vertex of a parabola, and if we reflected the parabola over the line, it would map onto itself. Alright, you guys are ready to go out and see those parabolas, see those quadratics out in the wild with those two key features we just talked about. Good luck.